Culture swap.
Swap my culture.
Very good. What did we do?
Yeah, really? Liam, this time we did High School Musical 2.
Fantastic. Why did we do it?
Because it was your birthday and you're a little bitch.
I mean, that's just uncalled for, isn't it?
That was really mean. I don't know why I said it. I'm so sorry.
This is the shit I've got to put up with.
Liam, we did High School Musical 2, and we did it because it was your birthday. And what more of a treat could Liam ask for?
That was a better attempt, definitely. And I'm saying that to make it hard for you to cut out the first attempt, where you were mean.
Cut out the first attempt anyway.
You were mean. You were really mean, and you said I was a little bitch.
I did say that.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this, Liam?
What's the story? Give me a brief plot synopsis, or shall I do it?
I can do it.
Do you know?
And then you can do a better one.
All right, cool.
Zac Efron.
Who plays?
Troy.
Yeah.
Bolton.
Yeah.
We've just finished High School Musical 1.
Yeah.
We go straight into summer holiday.
Yeah.
They all go to the same place for their summer job.
We just have to be clear. Some time has passed between High School Musical 1 and 2.
How long? Do we know how long?
Well, okay, so High School Musical 1 obviously starts off on New Year's Eve, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And they're all kind of auditioning and getting ready for the spring musicale.
Yeah, so it's only going to be like a couple of months, Liam.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't go straight into it. There's like...
We did.
Yeah,
anyway.
We did, but the story...
Fine, Liam. The story's got like a month
couple
in between
of months.
the two films. Sharpay goes to her super expensive club place holiday, and somehow all the cast end up going, and then they sing some songs, they get kicked out of a talent contest, they get put back in the talent contest, they all learn some valuable lessons. Sharpay sings Humuhumunukunukuapua'a, cut to credits.
Okay, so you got some of the like chronological timing of that wrong.
Well, yeah, but it's not important.
Well, it is.
Go on, Liam, you do your quick rendition of what High School Musical 2 is.
Alright, so it starts off with them all waiting for summer to begin. And then we have the song, What Time Is It? It's bloody summertime, isn't it? You were right, like Sharpay goes off to her club. You kind of like, oh, somehow everyone else ends up there. It's because she was trying to be sneaky and get Troy working there. And she was like, whatever it takes, get Troy Bolton at my summer club, because she wants to like steal him away from Gabriella, obviously. Troy was like, well, I'm only going to do this if my teammates can come and also have jobs there. And since Sharpay had said, do whatever it takes, Fulton, who was the guy that was kind of like running the show at the club, he was like, oh, well, you know, whatever it takes. So, yeah, sure, all the Wildcats come along. Boom. That's how they all get there. It's explained in the film. What happens...
Yeah, okay. Wait, what about everyone else, though?
What do you mean about everyone else?
Because it isn't just the team. I know that he makes a point of he's like, the team's going to work together, but a lot of other people go.
Yeah, well, I guess he wanted all his friends there.
Okay.
Then, basically, I'm going to real condense what happens here.
Oh, sorry, Jesus. I'm so sorry, guys. Spoilers. There are going to be spoilers about High School Musical 2.
Yeah, because I'm about to give one, and I'm about to drop a fucking clanger.
Phew.
Troy Bolton becomes a fucking dick, doesn't he?
Yeah, it is a weird character development that happens in this film.
It's so it's just frustrating to watch it because I love him so much, but he is an absolute dickhead, and it's indefensible. I think partly his dad puts a bit too much pressure on him, and his dad kind of gives him the advice of, your team are here for now, but you've got a future that you have to think about because it's your future. And it kind of just slightly shifts his mind onto the wrong track of like dicking over his team a little bit. Not necessarily like actively, but passively.
I think part of the problem is the character. So like the coach character, the dad/coach, changes from the first one to the second one and stays this way for the next two films. But a lot of what happens is he gives young Zac Efron. I refuse to call him Troy. Zac.
Okay. Yeah.
He gives Zac some help. He's like, I'm going to be helpful because this is my son. I want my son to do well in life.
Yeah.
So he gives him advice, and then the running theme of High School Musical is Troy Bolton / Zac Efron just sort of misunderstanding that advice, because like saying, you know, your team are here now, you've got to look at your future. That's not him saying just fucking abandon your friends.
No.
Do well. It's him being like, don't forget that you've got a future. So you've got to do some of this stuff. You know. He's not saying completely abandon them, but then Troy just misunderstands and then's like, oh, I'm so sad, I'm going to angry dance.
Yeah, well, the only thing he's bet on it, which is brilliant, is one of the highlights. Absolutely. You've got angry dancing, angry singing. He sings to this weird, like, CG reflection in some water of himself.
Yeah, that's such a weird
It's
choice
brilliant.
for him to do.
It's one of the best songs. Anyway, he basically figures out that he shouldn't be such a dick, and everyone forgives him. Gabriella's a bit pissy about it all. But everything works out in the end, and they all sing at the talent show, and they've all learnt some valuable lessons that they promptly forget in time for the third movie.
So I've got a couple of things that I'd like to sort of pose to you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that was a brief synopsis. Now we're going to dig in.
So I genuinely, this is something I've genuinely considered.
Yeah.
Sort of most of today, I suddenly thought about it, and I was like, this is a bit weird. The way High School Musical was made, right? Mm-hmm. Was it originally made to be a one-off?
I assume so, yeah.
Because they pick such a weird year to start it in. The second to last year of high school.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, so effectively, do you think, because this is how it feels to me, is that they made that first one, it did well, and they went, oh shit, we need to make a trilogy. And then they all went, yep, trilogy sounds good. And then someone went, we've only got one more year of high school left.
Yeah, I don't know if they necessarily immediately went in being like, oh, let's do a trilogy. I
think for this film to be made, someone had to say it's a trilogy. Because if you are doing the sequel to High School Musical, the obvious choice is the next year of high school, right?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like, because one of my gripes about this film is that it doesn't really take place in high school.
Yeah. It's not a High School Musical, this one. It's a summer vacation musical.
Yeah, you have, like, the opening number takes place in high school, but it's all about, school's out, let's scream and shout.
Yeah.
And then the rest is just their summer vacay.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing.
It is. But it also does start, like, ratcheting up the kind of seriousness, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you do start getting those conversations, right, future, college, are these relationships going to last beyond high school? Those sorts of things start playing around in the characters' heads, which are mostly overlooked in the first High School Musical.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I kind of like it for that, but yeah, personally, this is my least favourite of the trilogy.
I think that is fair to say.
And here's what baffles me. I deliberately wanted to give it another go, because I know the Zac Attack guys who have been on, this is their favourite of the trilogy, and I don't know why.
Is it possible that Humuhumunukunukuapua'a is such a good song that it redeems the entire film?
I mean, I think we can see why that song was cut when they initially broadcast this on the Disney Channel.
I can't, because it is the best thing in this film.
Do you want to explain why it's so good?
It's just amazing.
Doesn't really explain it though, does it?
I don't know if there's a reason. It's just the best song that High School Musical has ever done.
I mean, I disagree entirely. I think I Don't Dance, which is also from this film, is the best one that High School Musical have done.
Humuhumunukunukuapua'a is Sharpay's attempt to create a culturally relevant Hawaiian song in her summer holiday talent show.
Yeah, basically foreshadows Moana.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Instead of being a good cultural representation of Hawaiian, mythological beliefs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just sort of offensive.
Is it?
I think so. Because instead of, using any Hawaiian actors or, like, so Moana's all, I get it. It's a summer vacation. They're not, it's not problematic. But she is a very white girl with blonde hair singing about being a Hawaiian princess.
But she's also the villain.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I remember when we started watching it, you were like, oh yeah, I watched a YouTube video that kind of explained that Sharpay wasn't that villainous. And I'd also seen that YouTube video. But rewatching this trilogy, she really is.
She is in number 2.
Yeah, and number 1.
I think in number 1, there are arguments that she's not as mean as everyone thinks. I think she's still the villain.
Yeah, but number 2, really, she's bad.
Number 2, she is just being a dick.
Yeah.
To the point where her own brother is like, I'm going to go hang out with our high school friends.
Yeah, exactly.
And play baseball.
And that's when you get I Don't Dance, which is odd, right? Because that song doesn't even feature Zac Efron, who is my favourite person on this planet. Sorry, Kat.
I think she already knows that.
Yeah. My 30th birthday celebration wasn't a day in her honour, was it? Let's be honest.
No, you didn't have a cat-themed birthday party.
Nah. And yeah, even though Zac Efron isn't in the song is an absolute banger. It really is.
Yeah, no, that is fair. It is a good song.
Yeah, it's all about... So you've got Chad, who is Troy's best friend, and is a terrible best friend, if we're going to be real honest.
He's a shit best friend. A lot of the people in these films are shit.
Yeah, but Zac Efron isn't.
Troy's shit in this one.
He is in this one, but in the whole trilogy, he's a good guy. But yeah, so you got Chad, who's the best friend, and he's a dick. But basically, he doesn't want to dance. He doesn't want to dance in a talent show. And then
How
Ryan,
can he be part of a talent show if he doesn't dance?
Yeah, Ryan's like, look, mate, if you can play baseball, you can dance. And they have a whole song about it. And the best thing about that song is you've got Chad singing and dancing, and the lyrics are "I don't dance," but he's dancing as he's singing that. It's amazing. Doesn't make any sense. It's brilliant.
No, yeah, it's factually incorrect.
Yeah, he's a pretty good dancer.
Yeah. And also, like, I feel like if you can play baseball, you might not necessarily be able to dance. And I don't think baseball players should feel bad if they can't dance.
No, but I think Ryan does make a good point where he says if you can do this, then if I can do this, then you can do that. I mean, you can't argue that logic.
That's not a fair analogy, though. And also, they make a joke of that, where later on, Chad's like, have you really never played baseball before? And then Ryan's like, no, I have.
Oh, yeah, he's really good at it.
Yeah, he was like, I played in, like, Little League.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, yeah. So when
I think the point of that song wasn't so much like, look, if you can play baseball, you can dance, but it's more believe in yourself.
That's sort of the running theme of the entirety of High School Musical, except for Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
Which is believe in this weird fish god.
Yeah, worship the fish god.
Honestly, that song is just so terrible, and I don't know why it's your favourite.
It's honestly my favourite. I love it.
But I don't know why.
It's so good.
There are some really good songs. Like, we obviously Bet on It, which we've already discussed.
Yeah.
So that's when Zac Efron's character, Troy Bolton, realises that he's being a dick. And he's like, right, I've got to turn this around. Like, my girlfriend doesn't like me. She's just broken up with me. My friends aren't talking to me.
Sort of. She's sort of broken up with him.
Yeah, it's questionable.
They're not very clear on what they're doing, those two.
No.
She's like, I'm going to leave. And he's like, okay, like, leave?
So,
and she's like, yeah, leave? And he's like, oh, but
then
leave?
They sing.
Then they have a little sing.
But the thing is, in each of the three movies, Gabriella has a kind of a her-centric song, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is the only one that has, like, someone else kind of gets involved with the singing part. But it's the best one of her, like, main songs.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's singing about how she's got to go her own way. And then Troy's like, but what about us? What about everything we've been through? And he makes a compelling argument.
And she's like, well, you are sort of abandoning me to
Yeah.
go and hang out with weird college kids that want you to play basketball.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, it's a closed practice. I don't think they roll that way. Oh, that was the douchiest move, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But equally, like, I get it.
Oh yeah, because you dropped me in a moment. If a cool podcaster came along and was like, hey, I want you to host a podcast with me. And I was like, what do they want? Do they want both of us? If someone was like, oh yeah, I want the Nerd on Nerd to guest.
Yeah.
They'd ask you, and then I'd be like, oh, am I guesting as well? And you'd be like, nah, you're not.
Yeah, it's like what happened with the Zac Attack guys.
And Amanda and everyone else that guessed you on.
I think those are the only two, aren't they?
No, I feel like it's hundreds.
No, because Atlantic Screen Connection got us both on for some reason.
Because we're good. We're a team.
Well, you know.
You're the Chad to my Troy.
I think out of the two of us, I'm the Troy.
I think we're more of a Sharpay and Ryan, and I think you're Sharpay, and I don't think you could argue that. I'm the Ryan to your Sharpay.
Yeah, that does make some sort of weird sense.
It does, and it's sad, because I realised that, and I was like, shit.
Yeah.
It is true.
Yeah. Anyway, that's fine, though, because I am fabulous.
That's a good song. I like Fabulous.
Fabulous is a good song. So, here's the thing. Narratively, I think High School Musical 2 is the weakest of the trilogy, but musically, I think it might be the strongest.
It does have some really good songs.
3 is also up there, but...
See, that's what I mean. I think that's why I ranked 1 as my least favourite, because 1 has a couple of good songs.
Yeah.
But when I'm watching High School Musical, I'm not in it for the narrative, because I'm not like you. I don't care about coming of age and high school kids.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it is the music that's the important thing.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe
I
that's
can see
why
why
my
one would be your
rankings are
least
flipped.
favourite. Yeah. So where does 2 rank for you out of the trilogy?
I think it sits in the middle.
So 1's the worst, then 2, then 3?
I think so.
Okay. But yeah, narratively 2's the worst. Musically, though, it's a close call between that and 3, but I think 2 might just about pip it, maybe?
Yeah, maybe Humuhumunukunukuapua'a might push it just over the edge.
That is probably the worst song in the trilogy. Well, actually,
I hope you realise I'm
that's
just
not
saying
fair.
the name so much so that I can call the episode Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
That's fine. It's not the worst. I think the worst song in the trilogy is probably Gabriella's solo in the first one.
Yeah.
I think that might be... It's so forgettable.
There's a few songs that I heard on this second watch through of all 3 films that I was like, even having listened to the soundtracks a couple of times, I don't know this song. And I think it's because I can't remember which ones they are, is how forgettable they are.
It's a shame that you can't remember them, because that would make life easier.
Yeah, I know. But that's all I'm saying is there are definitely some low points in these films.
I don't think you remembered Start of Something New, did you?
I don't really remember it now.
It's the very first song in the whole trilogy.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, that's not very good.
I like it.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
You like all these films.
Yep. Oh, so the the Gabriella one in the first film is When There Was Me and You, which is just, I think that might be the worst.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, right, songs that you've got in High School Musical 2, I'm going to read them out, and I want you to, 1, tell me if you remember it, and 2, tell me how much of a banger you think it is.
Okay.
Alright? So you've got Work This Out.
Wait, are you ranking them in order or just...
No, I'm just reading them out as they're listed in IMDb. And
Really?
You're telling me if you remember it and how much of a banger you think it is.
Work It Out, I remember.
Yeah.
It's a average banger.
Okay. I Don't Dance.
Remember it. It's a good banger.
Gotta Go My Own Way.
I remember the song.
Yeah.
I don't super remember how it goes. I'm going to say it's not a very good banger.
Bet on it.
Bet on it. Remember it. It's a banger.
Here's one that I don't know if you remember. Every Day.
Don't remember.
It's like, not the very, very last song, but it's right towards the end. I think it's the one they sing at the talent show. I say I think. I know.
Of course you know. Don't lie. Yeah, I don't remember it.
Okay. What time is it?
Remember it. Banger.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Remember it. It's one of the best bangers.
You Are the Music in Me.
Oh god, I do remember it. Ooh.
What? I mean, they kind of do a couple of different versions of it.
Does Sharpay do a version?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the film they make a point of how Sharpay's version is bad, Gabriella and Troy's version is good. I disagree. I think Sharpay's version is better, Gabriella and Troy's is too slow.
But can you see why they think Sharpay's version is bad?
She makes it very, like, poppy and...
Very show-offy and...
They're high school kids doing talent shows. It's got to be fabulous.
Okay.
See what I did there, Liam? Liam, do you see what I did there?
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Thank you.
What about All For One?
I don't remember it.
It's the very last song.
I don't remember it.
If I could sing, I would perform it to help jog your memory, but I can't, and our listeners don't need to hear me trying to sing.
Yeah, fair enough.
Especially a High School Musical song.
That's fair.
It's the one where, if you watch closely, there's a little Miley Cyrus cameo.
I remember it happening. I can't remember how the song goes. So.
Okay. And then we've got Humuhumunukunukuapua'a, whatever it is.
Humuhumunukunukuapua'a. Remember it. Best song of the film. And the trilogy.
Wait, Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
Yeah.
There we go.
Very good, Liam.
Thank you. It's the worst.
Best song in this trilogy. Hand down.
There's a bit where she like gargles water and pretends she's speaking fish.
Yeah.
In the song.
She says, this is fish. I'm speaking fish.
Yep.
So good.
Right, whatever.
Ryan forgets to bring the waves in, Liam. Silly Ryan.
Yeah, I know. The other thing that I think becomes real obvious as we watch this trilogy for a second time. I mean, for me, I don't even know what number watch this is, but together, us watching it for a second time, we discovered that Troy Bolton is the master of stealth.
Yeah.
And
he's Solid Snakes a lot.
Yeah, and Humuhumunukunukuapua'a, whatever.
Apua'a.
Has some of his best stealthing, I think.
Yeah, he disappears mid-song. So, like, right at the end of the song, he vanishes.
He hides behind a chair.
Yeah, they're like, where's he gone? And they'll go to look for him, and he just stands up from behind the chair.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's so good. There's a number of times where Troy, like, hides behind a pillar, and then you cut to the person that's trying to find him, and they, like, turn around the pillar. Troy's gone, and then he walks behind them, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, but then you've also got, I think... See, I'm a little bit concerned, right, that maybe Sharpay has this, like, retinitis pigmentosa.
Okay, yeah? You think so?
Because you've got the first High School Musical, right, where she overhears Gabriella singing in the bathroom. She goes to look for her, turns around, and walks out, and then Gabriella just pokes her head out from, like, a wall that when Sharpay would have turned around, she would have seen.
Yeah, she's not in a cubicle, listeners. There is a tiny little, like, sticky out bit of wall that Sharpay walks past, turns round so that area would have been in sight, and walks back out.
It would have been in sight unless she had severe tunnel vision.
Exactly.
So
I like this theory, Liam. I'm sort of on board with you.
And that could also go a long way to helping make her a little bit more sympathetic, maybe.
Yeah, she's not a dick. She just she can't see anything.
Yeah, that's why all of her songs have so many light shows in them.
Yeah, she's like, I just need to be able to see the stage, everyone.
Yeah.
Stop doing slow, dark songs.
Yeah, a single spotlight's no good for me.
I need to see everything.
So yeah, I don't know what more there is to say about this movie. It's just so good, despite being the worst of the trilogy.
Okay, so genuinely, right?
Yeah.
I think this is the film where a problem in the High School Musical franchise. This is the first film that you can see it in.
Okay.
And it carries on. It's a problem that 1, 2, and 3 have. Well, technically only 2 and 3, because High School Musical, what it does is and you agreed with me on this on the night. It's in every film they make a lot of progress at the end. Like, you'll have a moment like the end of the first one and the start of the second one. You have scenes where Gabriella and Sharpay sort of patch things up and are like, hey, like at the start of this one, Gabriella's like, thanks for helping last year and giving me all that singing advice, and Sharpay's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And
then to get to the point of conflict, every film abandons everything anyone has learned in the previous films.
Yeah.
Like, in film 1, Chad is so anti the dancing and singing. He's like, why would anyone do that? But then he gets into the musical. He's like, oh, Troy's actually good at this. Like, I get it. And then in the second one, he's like, why are you focusing so much on singing, Troy? And you're like, Chad, you've done this. We know. Get over it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... It's not a problem. It's just an issue that becomes noticeable, especially when you're watching them back to back.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be fair here, Liam.
No, I agree. I can't disagree with that. Like, it is, they do kind of wipe the slate clean for each film, and they're like, let's just ignore all the lessons we've learned. Yeah, and it's most obvious with Sharpay and Ryan, I think.
Yes, I mean Ryan goes so far backwards each film.
Yeah, like in 2, he makes a lot of progress. He's good friends with the Wildcats, but then by the time 3 starts, he's back to,
Sharpay's minion.
Yeah, which is, like you on this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's a valid criticism. The only thing I would say to counter that is the movies are so much fun, no one really cares.
They are, but I'm just... I know that you love them so much that you'll find it hard to say anything negative. So I feel like I have to...
No, I mean, like I said, this is my least favourite of the trilogy, so I think that's a pretty negative thing to say.
Yeah, but you would also love it.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're not, when you say it's the least favourite of the trilogy, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, I mean, I find this, like, entertaining. And I will say, as a movie and everything, even as a High School Musical movie where I have a bit of bias to it, I still find it average, but it's, like, entertainingly average.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I do think I enjoyed it more when I was drunk the first time.
Do you think?
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
I mean, I'm so looking forward to next year. Or 2 years or whatever.
It might be 2 years, yeah. Or it might be when I turn 40, who knows?
Well, it's not like 10 years to do it.
Okay.
But yeah.
So do you want to share with the listeners our plan?
So we've done... The logic here is we've done the first year that we did High School Musical. We watched all 3. We didn't get crazy drunk for the first or second.
No, that's a lie.
We were drunk.
Yeah, but we were crazy drunk by the end of the second.
Okay, that's fair. We had to rewatch 3 the next day because we didn't make it.
Yeah, we fell asleep.
Yeah. So then this time we watched them and didn't get crazy drunk. Like I drunk a lot in number 3, but I slowed down and still understood what was going on.
Yeah.
What we're thinking of doing for the 3rd time we watch High School Musical, so reviewing High School Musical 3, is we will play the drinking game or a drinking game for each film. The High School Musical drinking games are brutal. They make you drink so much alcohol.
Yeah.
So we're just going to see...
We're going to maybe make our own kind of version that will apply to each film in the whole trilogy?
Yeah. We need to, when we get to it, I think we need to make a call on what we're going to do. But that's the idea, is we'll do a drinking game through all 3 films in a marathon and just try to survive. And
if any listeners want to throw in suggestions of when we should drink, our emails and tweets are open.
Yeah, we will make a list.
Yeah. Like, we maybe won't do any here if it's ridiculous, like drink every time you're having fun. I mean, fuck it. I'd be dead.
Liam would die. He'd be non-stop drinking.
I mean, you might be alright with that one, but...
We'd get to Humuhumunukunukuapua'a and I would just down my drink.
Yeah, exactly. But, if you want to send in, like, realistic suggestions, go ahead. We had some correspondence on High School Musical too.
Yeah?
Well, I started reading it out earlier, didn't I, and then got confused.
You did. Read me the correspondences.
Alright, so Fiona Underhill on Twitter tweeted saying, the best of the trilogy by far... A cinematic masterpiece. Bet on it is the best thing I've seen with my eyes or heard with my ears. I Don't Dance is also immense in every way. And this is what I mean. Number 2 does seem to have a lot of love.
Well, I just want to check because I feel like Fiona might have watched the edited version that doesn't have Humuhumunukunukuapua'a in it.
Oh, it's impossible to tell.
Yeah, so I think it's probably fair to say that she would have preferred that song if she had seen it. I'm just throwing that in there. But yeah, other than that, I sort of agree. It's not the best of the... I think she's wrong about it being the best of the trilogy.
Yeah.
But it is good.
Yeah. That's on the record now.
For a High School Musical film. Good.
Well, no. That caveat is a bit too late, I think.
Okay, well, we'll see in the editing.
Will Powell tweeted saying High School Musical 2 has the best songs hands down. I'd go as far to say as that I enjoy the storyline of the second film more as well. Maybe an unpopular decision, but I stand by it. And I was just like, oh, that is a controversial opinion. And he responded, can't help it, it's the way I feel, damn it. And then I kind of made some good points, like they spend hardly any time in actual high school, and Zac becomes a bit of a dick. And then just tweets got weird.
Yeah, that's when more GIFs started happening.
Yeah.
It's very easy to do GIFs for High School Musical.
Yeah, I know. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Any more correspondences?
We had an email.
Who from?
Kat.
Kat.
She
the
said,
liar. She says she hates Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
She said, here are my thoughts on High School Musical 2. First, it's not really a High School Musical because they aren't at school.
Fair.
She said, I'm glad I finally saw the moment that makes up one of my all-time favourite gifs, which is Zac Efron and pizza, which we also mentioned earlier.
Yep, fair.
I enjoyed seeing Miley Cyrus's cameo, but made me wish she'd been a part of the story, but I don't know why. Also,
yeah.
we were at our favourite Chinese place last night, Beijing Palace, and I don't know how I have this knowledge in my head, but I kind of just laid out for Kat a brief overview of what Hannah Montana is all about. I've never seen a single episode of Hannah Montana. I've never seen the movie. I don't know how I know.
I think I could do that as well, and I've never watched it.
Yeah, because Kat was like, what is it about? I was like, well, basically, Miley Cyrus plays someone who has this like alter ego that's a pop idol, and she tries to keep that secret from everyone.
Yeah.
How do I know that?
Yeah, I don't know, because I know it too, and I don't know why.
Yeah. I think that's the thing with these sort of Disney things. They do quite like insidiously creep into your subconscious.
Yeah, Disney are good at that.
She also said, Gotta Go My Own Way is not a terrible song. That was a nice surprise. And then the Humuhumunukunukuapua'a song scene is the stuff of nightmare.
I just think it's sad that Kat feels she has to hurt me with lies.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if it's a lie necessarily.
I think it is, though, is the thing.
I think it could just be that you're damaged by finding that song the best when it clearly isn't.
I mean, obviously damaged, yeah. We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
This song is the best, though, is the thing.
Mm.
She wants to give the Fish Prince a kiss.
And she wants... Right, this is the most ludicrous part of that, is she wants Zac Efron to play the Fish Prince.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
Because he'll be a fish prince.
Doesn't look like a fish.
And then he turns into a handsome prince, and he sings Humuhumunukunukuapua'a.
There's more. Come on, carry on.
I can't remember it.
You need to listen to it more then.
Yeah.
I have another huge grievance that isn't so much about the movie, but it's about the Blu-ray.
Okay, I think I know what you're going to say, but go on.
Yeah, 1 and 2 both have sing-along... No, sorry, 1 and 3 both have sing-along versions on the Blu-ray.
Yep.
2, for some reason, you can watch just the songs with the lyrics coming up, but you can't actually watch the whole movie with the lyrics coming up for the songs.
Yeah, and it is weird.
What the hell is that all about?
Yeah, it seems like a weird choice for them to have done, considering they did it with number 1 and number 3.
Yeah, like, someone at Disney needs to explain that to me right now.
Maybe they don't know. Imagine that if this is how they found out. They were like, but we added it, right?
Well, what I would suggest is they do a 4K release,
which has the sing along.
Yeah. Also, preferably, like I have, I have them on DVD and I now have them on Blu-ray as well. And the DVD set I've got comes with like a little locker and a key, and that's getting quite battered and a bit like it's a bit worn. So if they could do a nice new version of that, I'd buy it.
Of course you would.
Yeah. What we
How many versions
watched,
of High School Musical do you own?
2 now for each.
Okay.
Each film, twice.
Yeah.
But I also have, and we haven't watched this yet. Maybe we should one day. I've got the live concert on DVD as well.
I don't want to see that.
It doesn't have Zac Efron in it.
Did you say doesn't?
Doesn't, no.
I don't want to watch it then.
No, I know. I've watched it once and was like, well...
Who does it have in it?
Oh, I don't remember.
Is it any of the cast?
Oh, it definitely has. I think all of the rest of the cast are in it. It's just Zac Efron is missing. But I wonder, because it was of the first one, and obviously, as we all know, his singing was dubbed in that one. So maybe they got the actual singer to do the.
But then we saw that extra where he was singing.
Yeah, I think he was partially dubbed. He sang some of it, but not all of it.
That makes sense. I can get behind
that. Anyway, I had a wonderful day watching all of the Zac Efron musicals.
I had an alright day.
I don't know how we're going to top that for when we do High School Musical 3.
The drinking.
That's not going to make it better.
It's going to make it hilarious.
I don't know if it is.
It is.
Maybe.
We should do the drinking game, Liam, and we should also do the dances.
I've got an idea, but it's controversial.
Go on.
What if we do like a special live stream of it?
Yeah, I think we should try live streaming us drinking along to High School Musical.
Maybe to make it special, it'll be our first ever like live episode or something.
Well, let's say that. Not fucking 2 years away or whatever. I'm not locking into that.
Well, no, I don't mean like a live episode like where we like rent out a hall and invite people to it. I mean like we stream the episode live.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I'm not going to say that's going to be our first one in case we have a better one that we want to do and you start being like, well, we agreed High School Musical would be first and you know how I am with the listeners. If I make them a promise, I can't break it.
Yeah, and then you come along, you make me break it, you swing your tits around,
so
and
don't make this promise because I'm going to make you break it.
Well, don't make me break my promises.
Don't make this promise. What do you rate High School Musical 2, Liam?
We're at an impasse. I rate High School Musical 2 I think you'll be surprised by this, a 3 out of 5.
That does surprise me.
Right, here's the thing.
Is that a 3 out of 5 compared to all films, or is that a 3 out of 5 in the High School Musical franchise?
I think it's a bit of both.
Okay.
Because, right, so the first High School Musical is a solid 4 out of 5. I love it, right?
Yeah.
High School Musical 3 is a high 3.5 out of 5. High School Musical 3, I think, is a high 3 out of 5. No, High School Musical 2 is a high 3 out of 5.
Yeah, did you say High School Musical 5?
I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Oh, I'm so sleepy.
I've said too many numbers and the words High School Musical too many times.
It's all just merging together.
I would love them to do a reunion though.
He just won't though, will he? Because he hates it.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough money in the world to get him back. Unless I know he's still friends with the cast, so unless they could somehow convince him.
You know too much about Zac Efron.
Whatever. What would you give it?
I give it probably a 3 out of 5.
So you enjoyed it then?
Yeah, it's got Humuhumunukunukuapua'a in it.
Yeah, of course.
How can I not? That's true. If it was the edited version, it genuinely would drop down to like a 2.5.
Okay. So that one song really does save a lot.
Honestly, yeah, I love this song.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough, I guess. I don't know if there's anything else for us to really say about High School Musical 2.
I don't think there is.
So next time
we are doing, Liam.
Yep.
We're coming away from the world of teenage High School Musicals.
Oh, but it's my favourite.
And we're going into the world of slaying giant monsters and doing Monster Hunter World.
So full disclosure, we've already started playing it.
And we've been playing it for 2 weeks now?
Yeah, because we're trying to put enough time into it that we can give you like a good culture swap on it.
Yeah, I think the thing with games is they need more time invested in them than any other culture swap we do.
Yeah, like comics, we can sneeze those out quite quickly.
Yeah, films, pretty easy. TV shows, with our rule that we had, which we might still have, but we're not sure anymore.
I think we ditched that rule.
I think we did. So now TV shows are probably the second longest thing to do.
Yeah, but games are definitely and it's why I think it's why we do a lot of comics and TV shows, and then less, like a lot of comics and films, and then less TV shows, and then even less games.
Exactly, yeah.
Because, we're both busy people. We've got lives to live. It only kind of coincides that currently our lives are being spent playing a lot of Monster Hunter World.
So we thought, fuck it, let's do a culture swap on it.
Makes sense, don't it?
Exactly. Look forward to that, listeners. If you've got any thoughts on Monster Hunter World, if you've played it, or if you've even played some of the old games, and you're like, I love the old ones, I don't want to try the new one, tell us why.
We're listening.
Where can they tell us that, Liam?
Twitter.
How would they do that, though? Because I just go on Twitter and I just tweet. I just go, oh, hey, guys. No one's going to see that, Liam.
You tweet us at Nerd on Nerd.
Ah, got you. Okay.
What if you don't have Twitter, though?
You could send us mail.
What, an email?
No, real mail.
Okay, what's your address?
I don't have one.
I didn't. Right, I'm sorry. I think you becoming homeless is worth catching up. It's a very big topic.
I'm on the streets.
Yep.
No, you could email us at nerdonnerdpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
That's for if you need more than the character limit of Twitter.
Yeah, Facebook as well. We check that.
Facebook.com/nerd on nerd.
Pod.
Yep.
I'm sure it is.
Yep, it is. Yep.
Yep.
Or, if you don't want to particularly get in contact with us, but you want to do something helpful for us, you could rate us on iTunes.
Yeah, help out the show.
We'll read out your messages, but I'd advise not to, if you're going to review us on iTunes, maybe don't make the review I really like Monster Hunter World, 5 stars, because that's going to confuse people.
That's very true.
It's just, it would be a weird thing to see, I think.
Yeah. We've had no new reviews since the last, I don't know, since September.
Don't worry about it.
Since September 2017.
Okay, well, that's a shame. Anyway,
Yep.
I think that's it. That's all the ways you can get in contact with us.
They've got YouTube.
Oh my god, yeah, sorry. The YouTube's back, everyone. If you missed last week's episode, YouTube is back.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a little rundown, Liam, of what you're doing?
No.
Okay, cool. Go on the YouTube. It's back.
It's at the moment, we're kind of wistfully looking back at our early days. Look, it's not ideal. Deal with it. We'll catch up in a year or so.
Jesus. Any final thoughts, Liam?
Yeah. I had the best day of my life.
That's so depressing.
Bye.
Bye.